I got both my dogs on the side. I don't know if you can see them. Anyway. It's Beatrice Perkins here for Women in Branding with my dogs Samantha and Bruce, because they will not leave me alone for me to do this video. So today I want to talk to you about what do you do when you've dropped the ball with a client. How do you recover? I realized that it's something that very few people talk about. They always talk about their successes, but they don't talk about when things kind of miss the mark. So I wanted to speak with you about what happens when you drop the ball with the client and how you can recover, because I think it really matters for your brand reputation. So I was working on a project with the client, and it fell behind schedule because life gets in the way. The holidays came, all of the kind of deliverables that my team were doing were not in place, and so I had to get back on track with the client. So I wanted to share with you a couple of quick tips that I've learned work really well when that happens. The first thing is to make sure that you have an open and honest dialogue. The best way to do that is to speak with your client, whether it's in person or on the phone, and pony up, own your mistake, and say, you know what, I dropped the ball. I was expecting to get this done, I was expecting to do this, I was expecting to do that, I assigned it to my team member, I didn't manage the project, whatever the reason is. I think it's great when you just state it openly and honestly and say, here's what happened, I didn't manage it well, recognizing that I first want to apologize to you for any inconvenience it may have caused, and I've sat with my team, or if you work by yourself, I've sat and outlined what it will take to get back on track. And here's what I see as a way for us to move forward. And outline really dedicated and aggressive steps. Is this distracting or what? I'm going to move them, pause you for a minute, and come right back. Come on, Booba. Come on, come on, come on. Peace and quiet. So as I was saying, you want to outline the way to move forward with the client and say, you know, this is what I have outlined for us to do as a way forward. I made sure that I'm going to dedicate all of my time and attention to getting us back on track and to getting caught up to where we should be. If you work by yourself, if you work with a team, say, I've connected with my team and we've cleared our resources and allocated the time and attention that it needs to take in order to get this back on track. And here is what we've outlined as our way to move forward. You outline those steps with the client. I think it's really important that you put extra effort to recovering from having dropped the ball and the gap that you may have created with the client as logically as possible. And then say, given what I've outlined, what do you think? Does this seem to make sense to you? Is this something that you think is helpful and beneficial? Is this something that you need to review and get back to me on? I'd like to know your thoughts. So you're opening the dialogue, because really you dropped the ball, so now the kind of decision and the way to move forward is really kind of within their control and kind of within the confines of your contract, but really you have to stand in integrity and respect of the client to be able to put the ball in their court. I have not ever had a client to say, you know what, you dropped the ball, I don't like that, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm moving on. Because everyone knows that life gets in the way, and as long as you take the ownership of the mistake, recognize it, and put in legitimate steps to fix it, people are willing to work with you on that. And once you have that discussion and dialogue and they say, okay, great, so we're ready to move forward, you want to make sure that you activate that plan immediately and not only meet the new scope that you've outlined with that client, but exceed it. So you want to, if it's timeline based and you say you're going to complete a project within the next week or 6 weeks or whatever it is for you, you actually want to exceed it and get it done and complete it early. You also want to make sure that you are giving updates at every step of your progression so that the nervousness of something falling through the cracks is subsided with the client as a way to move forward, so that they don't feel that anymore, so that they can really move forward in partnership and collaboration with you from that place. That's always worked for me. I think it will work for you. If you have any questions or concerns or insights, I think it's always best to outline those things and outline how you will respond to any struggles that may be a part of the conversation, or any objections that you think may be a part of that process. I think it's best for you to outline and brainstorm that in advance, so that as your client brings it to the table, you're able to manage it with clear and, I think, comfortable expectation. So that's it. That's what to do. That's what I recommend that you do if you drop the ball with a client. And my kind of second piece of that is drop the ball with a client, pick it up, and get better at your game. So that's it. Again, this is Beatrice with Women in Branding, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.